Yeah. What's up? This is the Really Kick It podcast, and this is episode 5. And as usual, I am your host, Ones, and we are back. This thing is growing. This thing is getting bigger. Pause. Got to pause all that, but it's growing. I'm having conversations in the street with people that I've been around for a long time, and we talking about shit we ain't never talked about because of what I'm talking about on here. And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Today I got a couple topics, man, and as usual, it's about street shit. It's about street shit and my experiences in the street shit. So we gonna start this with saying, give it up for the gangster rap. It's over for gangster rap. It's over. I just seen a video this week of young Kodak. Young Kodak Black, the Sapase General himself, giving names, filling in the blanks. Kodak Black is beefing with, I think his name is Jack Boy. He used to be his artist, or Kodak Black wanted to sign him or something like that. This week, Jack Boy put out a video, I think it's from 2015, so it's long ago, but it ain't that long ago, of Kodak Black in the interrogation room, police asking them for real names and who did what, and Kodak Black rambled them shits off easy. These were his homies, the niggas he know, most likely Sniper Gang, right? That's what Sniper Gang. Niggas told, man. Another one, man. I remember when niggas was going crazy on the Clown 6ix9ine. I remember when niggas was going crazy. Oh, New York, y'all this, y'all. These niggas knew who they was the whole time. They knew they was on paperwork. They know they told. They know they. I don't know. I don't even know where these videos are coming from, but I'm glad we getting them. Because that music is a real influential to these kids. They believe in, they think they running drills and they doing this and they doing that because these niggas are saying they did it. Oh, man, that nigga told. Man, y'all got to see that video. How easy it was for him to say his homeboy's name. Listen, man, I don't think niggas know what telling is. Niggas think telling gotta be you take the stand or you in somebody's paperwork. You don't always make it to the paperwork if you tell. You don't always make it to the stand if you tell. But these dudes, they just, I guess he gonna be another one out here fighting for his name, saying he was trying to spend them. By telling them factual information, he was trying to spend them. They say women are, like, they got all this intuition, right? How do these niggas that keep getting caught up by the police, because that's what he gonna say, he was caught up by the police, he got tricked. These niggas keep getting over on these women that keep telling us they the smartest niggas in the world. This shit is fucking crazy. These is the niggas y'all be getting played by, the niggas y'all be running behind, niggas who go in there and can't stand up. These niggas ain't men, they women. Scared little boys, man. Scared little boys, because that's the only reason you give up your homies. I don't even know what the fuck the charge was. I just know he was talking just like a thug when he went in there. I don't even know what he was in there talking for. Niggas just in there talking. What, niggas just go see the police from time to time? That's confidential informant shit, not gangster rap shit. This shit is crazy. I want to talk about what snitching is, because I don't think people know what snitching is. Listen, I'm going to give you the levels of this shit, right? If you circle a face, you told. Right? Police bring you a lineup, it might be 6 to 12 niggas. Do you see that face here? You told. They gonna log that in. That's a statement. That's testimony. So that's gonna pop back up. That's telling. But you also got telling that, like, passive telling. When I got my charge that I went upstate for, I mentioned this in another podcast. I think 3 or 4, right? The dude went to jail, not even to jail, went to the precinct. And they was like, yo, do you know where so-and-so could be? Because I was on a run for a short little amount of time. They asked him, do you know where son could be? And he told them where my grandparents live. Something a lot of people in my neighborhood didn't know, right? So this is how I got to the paperwork, because if they would have caught me in that time before they went to my grandparents' crib, I wouldn't have even seen his name in that paperwork, because they wouldn't have needed it. It didn't corroborate nothing. It ain't had nothing to do with nothing. But he gave them factual information, and how they know it was factual, because they went to my grandparents' house. They talked to my grandfather about where I could be and all this other shit. That happened. So now they got to log it in. That's how it made it to my paperwork, because they had to physically go out and be accounted for going to talk to my grandfather. So now it has to be logged in. Now it has to make it to my paperwork. But if I would have got caught at any point before that, and they didn't need that at any point, that wouldn't have been in there. But he would have did it. Yo, this clown dude from my hood, right? His name is Jay. I'm going to say his name because he's a sucker, and he dead, and he died for some sucker shit, right? The nigga was dealing with a girl in Queens, and he was beefing with her son. They would beef, and the neighbor said that the kid would always come to their crib, and he didn't want to be in the house because this nigga was there. And they was fighting over the game or some stupid shit like that, if I can remember. This is a story you could verify. You could go check. It happened not too long ago, right? He got locked up before. And when he was in the precinct, he gave them my homeboy's real name. They came to him and was like, yo, do you know this dude? Showed him a picture and said, we know his street name, but we don't know who he is. The nigga gave him the nigga name, right? My homeboy tells me, yo, son, that nigga told him my real name. Police told him. This wasn't in the paperwork. This wasn't in no paperwork, because he got caught. So they didn't need to use any of the information like beyond his name. So now they know his name. As soon as they get the name, they find out who he is. They get the warrant. They go get him. So my homeboy tells me, I stand on what I stand on. The nigga in the hood, I'm telling niggas. I told niggas that know, yo, fuck that nigga. I told him the nigga gets paperwork. He go get the paperwork from his case or something, right? From a case that had nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Yo, I didn't snitch in my case. My nigga, my homeboy got locked up. They didn't know. They was looking for him. You gave him the name. They put the name in the system. He got all these. He got all his priors. So that made it easier to get him, to identify him. This nigga comes to me, yo, my paperwork don't say none of that. My nigga, it ain't about no paperwork. Niggas is saying, like, acting like paperwork is the end all be all. Yeah, that's black and white, but there are 100 ways this shit could go. There's 100 ways this shit could go. I'm a nigga that had a grown-ass man in the back of a police car. The nigga was in the back of a police car looking to point me out. That's snitching. That's snitching. Niggas is telling me, yo, boy, I just seen son in the back of the police car. What? I ain't got no paperwork that say he a snitch. But that's not snitching? You in the back of a police car looking to point out a nigga who did something to you or your friend or your family or whoever. Now, understand that I'm saying this from a point of street shit. Civilians can't snitch. Civilians cannot snitch. They're supposed to protect themselves. They're supposed to protect their community, and they ain't doing that with guns. They elect public officials to make them safer. Can't no civilians snitch. I'm talking about street people that's claiming to live by a code. That soon as shit get rough, they start doing the opposite of what they said they was gonna stand on. That's what I'm talking about. And Kodak Black is one of them. You ain't never heard a Kodak Black song about snitching. You ain't never heard a Young Thug song about snitching. But they rats. Gunna still ain't made a song about snitching because it's dishonorable and they know it. But I'm trying to convey that to the kids. I'm trying to tell y'all, when you see these things, understand what the connection it has to you. Don't overplay your hand on this side if you gonna fold on that side. Make a stance that's positive. Make a stance that's gonna keep you in these streets. Because it's the other side. Niggas be stand-up men until they get right to the precinct. I ain't even talking about like the county jail. I'm talking about the precinct. Cause that's what these videos is at. Ain't no interrogations at no county jail. Nah, you jailing. All that shit that niggas say in the precinct is to stop niggas from going to jail. They don't even want to go to the county. Nah, I ain't, listen, I'm a millionaire. I ain't. Casanova said that. They even said Casanova was cooperating. It's all information. I keep saying the same thing, man. But it's a story that keeps replaying itself. These stories exist. That's why I'm talking about them. If they didn't exist, I would have to find something new to talk about. But I know for sure these are relevant topics because I know what the young boys is going through. And I know how impressionable they is because I'm listening to, if you go anywhere in New York, man, these niggas sound like they from everywhere but New York. Old New York shit don't even appeal to them no more. Like, you don't really even hear niggas is calling my heart and all this other shit. Nah, my son, my man, that was my bro. Like, we could use all those things interchangeably, but niggas went and started twin and all that. What is we doing? But it shows how impressionable the kids is. So when I'm talking about these stories with these superstars that these kids look to as real niggas, now you hear them arguing, nah, that's a real nigga, this a real nigga. It's all perception to them. What they're putting out is big. They buying it, hand over fist. They buying it. I believe this nigga, like the NBA young boy nigga. Man, this nigga spent half his life in his house. He spent half his life in his house, and niggas think this nigga's the bodman of all bodmans. I don't get it, but it shows how perception could be warped to be anything you want it to be now. But I'm bringing it back to reality, man. Because you got to see this shit. You got to see it. You got to see it for what it is. You got to take the blinders off. It ain't the time to be relying on your homeboys to keep it thorough and all that shit. Nah, man. If everybody doing positive, you ain't even going to end up in them situations where you got to tell on your homeboy. Tell them where your homeboy stay. Or your homeboy telling them where you stay. Or y'all getting caught for the first time and he trying to separate a case that involve both of y'all for some reason. Because this is when the heartbreak happened. Everybody is in for everything until the walls close in. Your position is, we don't even need to get to that point. We don't even need to get to that point. Niggas having kids, young, go get a job. Be a parent, man. Be a parent. A lot of us I know a lot of dudes that talked about, well, I ain't have a father, or I wish my father was more present in it. And then they became fuck niggas just like their daddy. Big U from the Rolling 60, y'all know what he going through. His whole hood snitching on him. They just swung back through and swept up a bunch of other niggas, so they gonna create a bunch of new snitches, right? Big U got a son that died this week in the streets, right? Outside a smoke shop in LA. Got shot up. That son was in the streets.
I don't get no fuck who don't like what I'm on. This is what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm standing on that shit with an iron fist. If a motherfucker catch me and do what they do, which it ain't gonna happen, I'm too advanced for these niggas. I sit and watch how these niggas lose their life. There ain't nothing to be bragging on, but these niggas flunkies to me, gang. Like, they ain't built for this shit. Like, I don't get caught like a man.
Big U also has another son that's in the NFL that's not dead. That's not dead. So just in that one situation, it's two different outcomes from one parenting style. See, Big U, every man has a duality to him, right? I think every man has that. If you a street dude, chances is you always gonna have that in you. You know how to control it. But it's gonna be there. You gonna react how you gonna react if you get pushed to certain limits, right? So that's always gonna be there. But there's also the Karen side. The Karen side got his son to the NFL because the Karen side is structure. Yo, you can't do this. You can't be around this because this will derail you. You trying to get somewhere. You got somewhere you trying to go, right? But then on the other side, his other son wanted to be Little Big U. And what does that entail, being Little Big U? They said Big U was out there knocking niggas out. Big U, before he went to jail, because we going to talk about Big U in jail too, right? Before he went to jail, he got his rap beating niggas up. He was extorting niggas, kidnapping niggas, and all that. So the other son heard those stories. And that's what he want to emulate. That's what he want to live up to. But it's a bunch of niggas talking about Big U wasn't even Crip when he was in jail. He was running with the Muslims. That was his program. He had a spiritual program in jail. And then came back in the streets and got right back to I'm the king of the rolling 60s. I think in episode 2, I told y'all about a nigga who did that I know. He was guard in jail, and then when he came home, he super crippin' again. So now his kids, he got one in the ground. Now he facing what he facing. It's about 9 months in, I think, something like that. He been locked up. So now he got to deal with my son is gone. While he in prison. He 50 plus. He just going. He just starting to, it's about to be a long ride for him. And he 50 plus right now. And got to deal with his son dying in the streets for trying to be Little Big U. Create your lineage. Create your story. Because sometimes your parents don't got it. They don't know they needed to be guidance. They need the guidance still to this day. It's a lot of adults that ain't adulting. Like when we was kids, adults seemed like they had it a lot more figured out. But now that we the adults, we see a lot of you niggas are still fucked up. A lot of you niggas are still unhealed. A lot of niggas still ain't did the self-assessment yet, but now y'all got kids. So you still the same clown, you still doing childish things, but you got kids. What you gonna teach your kids? Because sometimes most people don't even teach their kids just see how they live, how they function, and say, I'm gonna be like that. When that whole story is fucked up. In every community that I ever lived in, man, niggas always got, it's about 1 or 2 families in the community that niggas is like, that's the bottom of the bottom. And you know how that continues throughout generation by nobody saying that something is wrong with the way we've been raised. One of my homeboys got a house. Me and he got one of those houses, right? Me and my homeboy, we in there. I ain't saying no names on this one. We in the crib, and my homeboy just tapped me, and he said, yo, you know what this crib is? This is the crib you come to do all the shit you can't do in your own crib. And what he meant, the shit was chaotic. Niggas standing on couches like they in a club, taking bottle pics and all type of shit. Niggas, and me and him just looking because we don't come from cribs like that. So this shit is like mind blowing to us. Like, what the fuck is going on in here? But that's upbringing. So now the next generation that grew up in that chaos, that felt whatever you want to call it, that dysfunction, now they houses. They moved out. They in totally different houses. They paying their own rent. Shit look the same. Because they bought in that this was normal. This is what they never looked at nobody else and was like, I want to do that or I want to, nah. What my mother, what my father did, if that was good enough for them, that was good enough for me. Nah. Nah. You got to see all this shit for what it is, man. The whole goal is to get yourself alive. You over a certain age, you got to rock with what your parents got going on for you to some extent. But you could grow. There's all kind of the programs you could be a part of. You extended schooling you could be a part of. And most of this shit living in New York State, you could do a lot of it for free. They'll find you resources if you need a job or any of these things. Like, it's no reason why kids are dying in the street trying to be thugs no more. It's no reason. Because you seen what happened before you. Like, it's right now you could go, every drug dealer that you think is fucking a big drug dealer folded. Chapo folded. Pablo folded. We watched that show Narcos. They couldn't be as real as it is because it's a lot of material there, but they had the arresting officers helping them to make the show. So the story is about as real as you could get. When the goons got on Pablo ass, he was calling the police. Chapo came over here, now El Mayo, a nigga who ain't never been locked up, is locked up in the U.S. Why? Because Chapo fucking told. Meech fucking told. You understand what I'm saying? Even at the biggest level, they tell. The streets is a myth. It's done. Get out the streets. Go get a job. I can't even say go find a good woman because it's a lot of niggas my age and older that's still trying to figure out what the fuck does that look like. So I can't even tell you that. But what I can tell you is get your affairs in order. Get your money in order. Get your credit in order. Do those things young. And you won't be in jail at 50 years old, facing 50, and your son is dead laying in the street. You will never have to go and see the police telling you, yo, listen, man, it's either tell me who your homeboys is or you go down. These are things that don't have to happen, ever. I know. I done been through it, and I know how much I could have skipped by just going left instead of right. The streets is a myth, man. Think about the names I just said. When you think about, if you want to, most of you niggas, like, you want to emulate these guys. It's like Scarface, how everybody went Scarface crazy. You see the whole movie Scarface, and what you take away from it is I want to be a big drug dealer. He died at the end of that movie. Think about how, they give you incremental time jumps in that movie, right? They tell you how long his run was. It wasn't long. All that happened in a short amount of time. Now take that, that's fabrication, but go look at real life stories. These big drug dealers don't be having long runs. Pablo was on a run. He wasn't living lavish. You see how that nigga died? You seen how they caught Chapo? Come on, like, I got a new slogan, man. Less big homies and more mentors. That's what we need, mentors. And what do I mean by mentor? Don't be around these kids if you feeding them the streets. We gonna put that up there with being a pedophile. If you're not giving these young kids nothing conducive to do, you trying to fuck them. That's how we gonna look at it. That's how we gonna get all these wasteful ass niggas away from the kids. We gonna look at them like pedophiles. If you ain't giving these kids nothing to grow, if you ain't giving these kids, yo nigga, go to school. Go to school. You gotta tell them that. If you got pull in your hood, nigga, you had that kind of pull. That's the kind of pull you should be looking for. The pull that could redirect a kid going off track. Because if not, what the fuck is you around these kids for, man? The fuck is you around these kids for? That's how niggas, I be hearing about problems with niggas be my age having problems with kids that's 24. You know why? Because y'all competing for the same resources. You supposed to have grown past the hood. What the fuck is you still doing there? Y'all beefing over 20-year-old girls and $35 worth of crack sales. Because where the fuck is y'all selling all this crack? Where the crackheads at? I don't even see crackheads no more. And these niggas, yo, I'm cooking. Listen, man. I'm not preachy. That ain't me. But I'm going to tell you what it is from my perspective. Because, you know, that's all this is. Some people see the sense in it. Some people don't. But a lot more people see the sense in it. That are grown and mature and have handled things and seen things and lost people. Man, I lost friends to snitching. I got homies that I don't fuck with because they was on some Transformer shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I got what I stand for. My morals is my morals. I'm still living off of the morals I grew up with, the morals that got me to this right now. But you don't need these morals, because I'm telling you, they limit you a lot. And they make you be real. The morals I got make you take off the blinders, man. Like, this shit is strict. I take no disrespect from nobody, man. Cause I don't need people to weigh. I need people that nourish my soul. That's what my friends do for me. I don't need a friend to pay for nothing, to die for me. I don't need that. That ain't why I'm friends with niggas. I feel genuinely good being around the people that I chose for myself and then go through this journey, which is life with. Find those friends. Don't find niggas that, I gotta be around son cause son tough and he ride for me. Like, most of the niggas, you hear niggas when they talking, it don't even be they tough shit. They'd be like, niggas know how my team give it up. A nigga be beefing about a girl. A nigga take his girl and then the whole team gotta go to jail about your girl fucking another nigga. My position is that ain't your girl then, if another nigga could get it. That's how I would stay out the streets on that one. You can't trick me off my square. That's her pussy. She do what she want with it. All that happened in that situation is I found out it ain't for me. I'm not going to bring a bunch of my homies to go do nothing no more, if ever. I don't think I ever. Now, I went to go do some things and some people lined up with me, but it was appreciated. I ain't asked for it. Because I'm always thinking about, like me, I call it commitment. In my mind, when I say I'm going to do this, I'm committed to that. I can't use that for you. My nigga, you got kids. You got this going on. You got this going. That's how I'm looking at it. That's why I don't call. That's why I won't call for no stupid shit. Because I care about my people. To the little homies, man, get it right now, man. Go on YouTube and put in Rico. And you gonna watch 30, 40 young black dudes who look like you, Latino dudes that look like you getting let out of buildings. Ain't no party. They be laughing and acting like it's, but these the same niggas that go to jail and tell and be crying and all that shit. And transform. Like, it's all cute playing on the camera. Yeah, niggas know us. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, all right. Give it 9 months. And then check back and see who did what. How long Dirk been locked up? They done turned a bunch of niggas snitches. I remember when niggas thought the whole entire O Block was the most gangsterous shit in the world. Now you hearing about them, it's backbiting, it's snitching, it's all the shit everybody else is going through. Why? Because it's street shit. All the street shit is fake, and it's all connected on one web. It's all connected on one fucking web. And that web is thin and full of bullshit. Listen, man. I got my first interview. I secured that. Won't clap for myself. Slow clap. The brother I'm interviewing is a brother I grew up with. Is a brother who's doing tremendous things. Movies. He's an author. He's acting in plays. He's writing his own movies. And he's from where I'm from. He had a good name in the streets, and he got a better name as a grown man. But I'm bringing him on to not only highlight everything that he has going on so y'all can see that it's black men out here doing extraordinary things. Black men and women, because I got a couple people lined up, right? But I want to highlight him because I know for a fact from young to who he is now. I know the story. He's an official dude. He was an official dude in the street, and he's an official grown man. He's raising his kids. He's traveling all around the country. He's doing shows. He's doing all, and I know him. You understand what I'm saying? I know him like intimately. This is my guy, and I think his story and other stories like his, once magnified, is going to give a lot of people inspiration and going to show y'all don't need to pick up a pack. Y'all don't need to pick up a gun. You can use your imagination. I guarantee it's a lot of trumpet players that don't even know they trumpet players because they think that shit ain't cool because another nigga don't think it's cool. soccer players. We got all this shit amongst us, and we keep limiting ourselves to the same thing. We got to get back to owning creation. Because we legitimize a bunch of other people's shit. Like, we put on their clothes and we do all that shit and make their shit relevant. But it's us making them relevant. So we have to start creating and owning these creations and showing kids that it's cool to want to create. It's cool to want to get your ideas out into the world, be it a business or some artistic. That one way, that street shit, that gang shit, it ain't leading you nowhere, man. It ain't leading you nowhere. It's time to go to colleges. It's time to get, like, worldly. We need to be more worldly. A lot of people are stuck to the 4 blocks and then they'll go up another 4 blocks and buy their clothes, and that'll be as far as they go. Now, we going to show y'all that there's black people out here doing amazing things, and it's just not them. You can do everything they're doing, and that's the purpose for the interviews that I'm about to schedule and try to put together and bring forth to the people, because I know some great people doing some great things, man. And they're inspirational to me when I look at them, so I know for kids to see them, because I didn't see too much of nothing, man, growing up. It wasn't a whole lot of different jobs going on, or if the adults that did have these different jobs, they wasn't communicating that to us. I don't think my aunt never told. My aunt used to work at Downstate. I got an aunt that was in the service. They never told us about, yo, this is what I had to do this, or if you do this. We never had them conversations in my family. So if you are like me, I'm going to be the conversation you could have. You could get in the comment section. My Instagram is 83 ones again. That's 83. The numbers 83 ONEZ again. The word again, AGAIN. And you can hit me directly in the inbox if you got something you want to kick about, man. I'm talking about like suicide hotlines type shit, man. If you need to talk to me, I'm here, man. I'm here. But as always, like, share, and subscribe. And this has been another installment of the Really Kick It Podcast, episode 5. Vibe with us, man. We doing big things, man. And we'll be back soon with that interview. And as always, love and peace. 1.